Delighted to inform this House to seek different licenses. All licenses are available in a one-stop shop. We have encouraged Nairobians to seek services online through our portal www.nairobiservices.go. Physically, over the counter, please come to our recently revamped Customer Care Center at City Hall Annex, where you'll be served. These customer service centers or client service centers were envisaged in the County Governments Act 2012, Section 119, and I'm proud to note to you that Nairobi City County is the first county to establish one. For the last 3 months, members, the county has been offering civic education on the Unified Business Permit and helping customers to create online accounts. Beginning this month, and members will remember that we discussed this in our recent retreat, we will resume enforcement to ensure compliance. The county government has developed an enforcement application or app that will allow targeted and efficient interaction with our clients, aiming to encourage compliance. The era of county askaris raiding business premises and harassing traders is behind us and must remain. The informal mayor of the city, Mheshimiwa Kenya, will attest to it. Running battles between our enforcement officers and hawkers are a thing of the past. We intend, is in the house? And this has been occasioned by our new approach to enforcement of compliance, which includes depth and continued engagement with different sectors. Members, this is unacceptable. We will not tolerate this. We must let our enforcement officers do their work. Obstruction of government officers fulfilling their mandate is a crime punishable by law and will be dealt with firmly. The people of Nairobi affirmed their desire for a city of order. Order will be maintained. To set the record straight, members, and to be clear, there is no problem whatsoever in recording officers as they perform their duties. If anything, it leads to increased accountability. You can even shoot a movie if you want. What we will not accept is obstructing them or inciting the public to turn against them as they perform their duties. Order will be established and order will be maintained. Honorable members, I really expect your support in protecting our officers, but ensuring that they also have accountability for the work that they do and that they treat the people of Nairobi with dignity. That is an affirmation that we have made. That is an affirmation that we intend to keep. Part of the proposals we have is to introduce, once the assembly passes, the use of body cameras on our officers so that the whole story can always be seen. When somebody takes a 3-second clip or half-a-minute clip and blasts it on social media, always half of the story is told. But just like a coin, There are 2 sides, plus the other side. There are actually 3 sides. Let us have the full story, and let us affirm the integrity and the dignity of Nairobi City County government officers. Members, I hope that you will support me on that. This financial year, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, the county government kicked off e-procurement to inculcate transparency and efficiency in the process of onboarding suppliers, as well as in receiving and accounting for goods and services. It was long overdue. Our manual processes were prone to delays and abuse. Many times there were cases of fake LPOs printed in River Road or other places that we said we have to move away from. E-procurement, ladies and gentlemen, has brought back sanity. I want to affirm to you that there shall be no turning back from e-procurement. The county's economic planning subsector has received accolades, and I must congratulate them, led again by our CC and chief officers and Mr. Sianga. Accolades for coming up with the best county integrated development plan, CIDP, our development blueprint that has been emulated by other counties. Nairobi leads and others follow. I'm immensely grateful to this assembly, and especially to the Budget and Appropriations Committee, led by Honorable Ker Odalo, for your support, and all the members, and all the 23 members of the Budget and Appropriations Committee. Asanteni sana, may you keep working with diligence as you set an example for other counties. The Ward Development Program, an initiative close to the hearts of honorable members, close to the heart of the governor, close to the heart of Nairobians, has ensured equitable distribution of development funds across all of the 85 wards of Nairobi. We have raised the allocation from 17 million to 23 million shillings per ward. WDP has tarmacked the first county road in Udhiru-Rudhimitu ward. It has laid the first cabro in Jadaine in Zimmerman ward. It has seen the completion of the state-of-the-art Uhuru Sports Complex in Kariobangi South. And I'm sure there are many, many success stories across your wards. There are now 85 projects worth 1.92 billion that are currently underway. I want to assure you that you will continue to receive my total support. Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, let me now turn to our work to satisfy the value of dignity. Complex. He also ensure a new level of professionalism in day-to-day operations while leading the strategic development initiatives required for longer-term success. Quite a number of wins to report. I want to start with Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital, which recently opened the first public eye hospital in Kenya, the Mama Lucy Kibaki Eye Hospital in Umoja 2 Annex, where every day about 300 patients are seen and more than 20 procedures are performed daily. Honorable Shadrach Mashanji will confirm that is were blinded by eye infections left untreated. You all know, all of you who are here, that sight is the most prized of our senses. Its loss or damage is life-changing. In restoring sight, we transform lives. Recently, and had been blind for 50 years. He refused to leave the hospital because after years of not being able to see, he thought that if he left, he will stop seeing. We had to encourage him that he will still see, even as he left the hospital. It was so heartwarming seeing him exchange jokes with his son, asking his son, so this is how you look after 51 years. I thought you were more handsome. It was really heartwarming. That story is shared with many, many families. In that hospital, we are manufacturing spectacles. In that hospital, surgeries are performed. The blind are seeing. Thank you to the County Assembly of Nairobi. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, we have also established the Mama Lucy Kibaki Intensive Care Unit, the first ICU facility to be established in this country since the advent of devolution. We have established a blood bank that was in the manifesto. We have established a renal unit. Anyone who has borne the burden of mistreatments or avoidable harm simply because a bed in a renal unit or an ICU was unavailable will appreciate what a step this is for the people of Nairobi. We have brought other services to that facility. We have opened an orthopedic and trauma center, which consists of 2 theaters and a 20-bed capacity ward. We have a new reconstructive surgery center, and we've also opened an integrated mother-child healthcare center, which offers breast and cervical cancer diagnosis and treatment, amongst other services. Last year, we installed a new neonatal ICU at Mbagathi Hospital. As I said at the time, it was a project we prioritized because we had seen the dire consequences of delay and congestion in treating newborn babies, especially those born before their time, the premature births. The new unit at Mbagathi is the latest public ICU in Nairobi. It comes complete with 4 high-need beds, 20 incubators, and highly technical and professional staff. In fact, one of our doctors there, Dr. Manyasi, was part of the team that performed the first intrauterine blood transfusion in the history of this country at Kenyatta National Hospital. We are proud of Dr. Manyasi and the entire team that is there, led by the CEO, Alex Irungu. The CEO of Mama Lucy is Alfred Wekesa. The CEO of Pumwani is Christine Kitusho. The CEO of Mutuini Hospital, soon to be actually named Mama Rachel RUTO Hospital, is Dr. Obwanda. But I can pledge that we'll open more so that Nairobi's mothers and their children live lives of dignity. In particular, the NICU, or the neonatal ICU, at Pumwani Hospital will be completed this financial year that ends in June this year. Thank you, Chairman Health, for the support you accorded the executive in performance of their duties. And I must thank the committee. When you had visitors recently, you acted like Nairobi County. May God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have amazing news. We are very close, in fact hours, to formally completing the agreements of reversion of Mama Margaret Uhuru Hospital in Kariobangi North. I know Mheshimiwa Matach and my best friend Munuve compete on whose ward it is in. Mheshimiwa Matach says Korogosho at the fence. Mheshimiwa Munuve says it's Kariobangi North. I will give the final determination. But we are finally at the last stage of having this hospital come back to the county as a level 5 general hospital. This facility with 400 beds, double the size of Mama Lucy Hospital, will serve a catchment area of 2 million people across the area it is in. It will ease pressure on Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital. Our predecessors, those who've been here before us, the journey that started in 1989 with the Nyayo wards, a journey that had several false starts, several misses, a journey that Governor Evans Kidero tried, but it faltered. The next administration tried, but it faltered, is about to culminate in the coming few hours. Members, this is indeed a milestone for the people of Nairobi. Gone will be the days of beds being shared by our mothers and our sisters at Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, We're also progressively upgrading our level 4 hospitals, not least by strengthening the governance structures, to introduce new committees and boards. And members, I asked you for recommendations as well, for those who have a level 4 facility within your ward, in changing those structures, in introducing professional management, but in keeping with the national agenda of creating fully fledged primary care networks. Allow me to mention 2 more interventions in health before I move on to something else. You will remember, members, that we promised to equip and to resource and to fund 7,480 community health promoters with kits that they need to do their work and to pay them a monthly stipend. We have done so. Members, Nairobi County government, and this is a story very close to my heart because I fought for this when I was in the Senate. Nairobi County government was the first county government to introduce a stipend of 3,500 shillings to all of our community health promoters. Then we used to call them community health volunteers. And I'm glad that now the national government has also added 2,500 shillings. Now 7,300 of them are equipped with smartphones, community health kits, and every month, and I instructed my finance team, every month they receive their stipends, and I told them they must receive their stipends before I receive my salary. They are doing an amazing work in our communities. They have covered 750,000 households in the city who may not need to go to hospital but to manage certain conditions at home. Let us appreciate the community health promoters of Nairobi County. Ladies and gentlemen, I turn to my favorite project, and I'm sure you can guess. Which one is it? Ladies and gentlemen, I now turn to Dishina County, to the school feeding program. And I want to start to thank you sincerely for supporting this dream. Let me tell you the story of Mildred Ayera. Mildred, an orphan, lived with her grandmother and struggled to get a meal every day. Mildred was a student at New Kiumbuini Primary School in Kangemi. I'm sure Mheshimiwa Hamisi could know her. She often sat aside at lunchtime when other students enjoyed their lunch. I'm sure you know stories of such students, Chair Health Perpetua, who during lunchtime have a lunch box that has just something inside, but not food. And they go to the corner to pretend that they're eating lunch, so that the other students don't ridicule them. I'm sure you know many students who at lunchtime, when they're told to go for lunch, they don't come back because they find nothing at home. But Mildred told us a story during the issuance of bursaries the last session, that the introduction of the school feeding program, where the first meal was served on August 28th, gave her hope. That third term, when she was in her final year in primary school, she got a nutritious meal every school day. It kept her in school. It was a turning point. She emerged one of the top students in Nairobi and in her school. She joined Loreto Limuru Girls this January. As we issued bursaries and scholarships this year, I think it was at Milimani. Was it Milimani? Yes, Milimani Secondary. Mildred gave her moving testimony while wearing this Tap to Eat watch, which I hoped all members would have by now. When she gave her moving testimony, she vowed that she would never remove this Tap to Eat watch, even as she moved on to high school. Mildred's story is a story of thousands of children in Nairobi today. When we began, we wanted to make sure and make absolutely certain that each and every child in our county was able to learn, that they were not denied an education simply because they were hungry. We knew, research showed us, and statistics, that 1 out of every 4 children in Nairobi had skipped school sometime in the past because they had skipped, or rather, had no food. In feeding each and every one of our children, Mr. Speaker, a nutritious hot meal, we invest in their cognitive development and empower them to excel. We knew that many children had nothing back at home. Despite different interventions to derail this program, either through court action or through premature political activism, it has continued to thrive. Let Mildred stand as our exemplar over here. This program, ladies and gentlemen, honorable members, is now fully up and running. We have built successfully beautiful kitchens at Babadogo Primary School. Mheshimiwa Majiwa, you are there. At Kayole 1 Primary School, is that Wairia or is Mofai? Mheshimiwa Wairia, thank you. At Njiru Primary School, Mheshimiwa Carrington, Heho. At Rosambu Primary School, where is Honorable Kimani Mugo? At BD Primary School, that is possibly Honorable Kimemia, thank you. At Toi Primary School, that is Honorable Davidson Ngibwini, DNG. At Farasi Lane Primary School, that is Honorable Alvin Palapala 003. That is a private one, eh? But I'm sure Honorable Stazo would not agree. At Mudangari Primary School, that must be Honorable Robert Alai. Oh yes, Nyangaresi, Ogeto, Kileleshwa Ward, Kilimani Ward, where I live. At Racecourse Primary School, Simba, Honorable Wahinya. And at Mukuru Kwanjenga Primary School, Honorable Kimondo. You will attest that those kitchens are indeed serious structures. Each kitchen is a central kitchen that serves between 10 to 15,000 meals a day. Honorable members, you have done a spectacular job. Every single day, 184,000 children in Nairobi eat a hot, nutritious meal. That is a commitment I made to the people of Nairobi. That is a promise I have kept. That is a manifesto item that we have ticked. No program of this magnitude or importance succeeds in isolation. So allow me to thank the parents, the teachers, the development partners, our county assembly, and the good people of Nairobi County who have made it possible. I must also thank the French government. During the Africa Climate Summit, when I took the French Minister of State, Chrysula, to Olympic Primary School, and she saw thousands of children excited at the meal, she offered us €1 million through our implementing partners, Food for Education, that ensures that even that parent who cannot afford 5 shillings, that no child will ever be removed from a line of lunch in school, told that you have no money. Every children, each and every of our children will eat. Right now, great people, we have the largest school feeding program in our history. Unlike previous programs, which were either limited to a small proportion of the enrolled school-age population, or had wide coverage but supplied only one food item. I'm sure many of us might remember those of us who grew up in the city, Maziwa ya Nyayo, that would come every so often, once in a while in our schools. We bring nearly every child in a public primary school or ECD center a full balanced meal, and we'll have complete coverage by the end of the year. In the last 2 weeks, Honorable Speaker, I have broken ground for more kitchens. I went to Uhuru Gardens Primary School in Langata, Honorable Akama, we were together. Then went to Mutuini Primary School in Dagoretti South, where we broke ground, Honorable Mato Mbugwa, we were together. And of course, the leader of minority, tulikuwa hapo. We broke ground in Donholm Primary School, and Honorable Mungala could not believe his eyes. In Embakasi East, Honorable Stazo, we broke it. We then went to Dandora 1 Primary School. Honorable Alan Mainagaduko, you remember. After that, we drove at a good pace to Ruruno Primary School in Madare constituency. Sorry? That is in Ruruno, is it? It is in Kiamaiko, not Mlango Kubwa. Honorable Ndoch, we missed you, but we were told you were away. But you are represented by your member of parliament, Honorable Oloch was there. And thereafter, we went to Umoja 1 Primary School of the indomitable Roro, Mark Mugambi Masharia, where we broke ground, but Honorable Masharia knows how to turn my knobs and made sure I bought sodas for everyone, including the neighbors. Thank you so much, Honorable Mark Mugambi Masharia. The construction is ongoing of those 7 kitchens. We will shortly break ground in Zawadi Primary School. Honorable Nixon Okwacho Juma, we are breaking ground. I want to thank you and thank your Member of Parliament, Honorable Yusuf, for the support, because they insisted that that kitchen must be built at Zawadi Primary School because of the informal settlement of Kiambio that is next to it. The idea was to take it to a different school, but they insisted, and they have even moved critical infrastructure that they will replace using CDF to make sure that that kitchen works. Members, we have many children in Nairobi who don't go to our public primary schools. They go to informal schools, known as APBET, Alternative Provision of Basic Education. As we mobilize more resources, and you know these schools, these are informal schools, because over the years, Nairobi, after systemic regimes, did not invest in school infrastructure for our children. Members, you remember when we broke ground in Roysambu, and I was really moved. I think I shed a tear. It was a 3 billion shilling tear, because out of that, we have received 3 billion shillings over the next 3 years to build classrooms in primary schools and ECDs. For our ECDs, I want to thank the Budget Committee, because we have agreed that we shall put 500 million shillings every year, so that each and every ward, including wards that might not currently have a school, will start having ECD centers starting this financial year. The national government